I wanna dance like David, I want a faith like Paul. I wanna sing like Silas, tearing down the prison walls. I wanna face that fire, it won't burn me though. God's got my back, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. I wanna walk like Moses, right through the waves. One day I'll see that promised land, no longer slaves. Though the fear is talking, no, it can't take out my faith. I'm gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heaven seated, undefeated, highest of names. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. I wanna gift like Mary, I wanna break my vase. I wanna sleep like Daniel, even in a lion's cave. I'm gonna get that promise, just like Jericho. Yeah, I know what'll make it fall. I'm gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heaven seated, undefeated, highest of names. That's who I praise. Hey, I praise the God who's proven he can do impossible things. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. He is the Lion of Judah. He is the Lamb that was slain, the only one who's worthy, worthy, worthy of all of his names. That's who I praise. He is the risen Messiah. He is the Ancient of Days, the only one who's worthy, worthy, worthy of all of his names. That's who I praise. So I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heaven seated, undefeated, highest of names. That's who I praise. Hey, I praise the God who's proven he can do impossible things. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. That's who I praise. That's who I praise. I wanna love like Jesus, that kind of grace. I wanna live like I've got no more precious time to waste. I'm gonna give him glory with all my things, 'cause there's no greater, stronger, higher name, and that's who I praise.
Oh, Brian, look at you. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Part ways with the old days, and the old spaces turn into warm ones. Pouring out for the old me and my homies. Think it's time that I move on. So murder my ego, time to let me go. Knife to my conscience, love to my people. Follow my call, this light is too lethal. Put my pride in the ground. 'Cause when my flesh is dying, is when I come alive. I just want something holy. Only you and you only. So I keep dying to who I am and to who I used to be. R.I.P. to the old me. might seem like a pipe dream, keeping myself buried on the daily. Turns out when you lay down all your old ways in the grave, there's a grace that's amazing. 'Cause when my flesh is dying is when I come alive. I just want something holy, only you and you only. So I keep dying to who I am and to who I used to be. R.I.P. to the old me. R.I.P. R.I.P. So murder my ego, time to let me go. Knife to my conscience, love to my people, follow my call. This light is too lethal, put my pride in the ground. So murder my ego, time to let me go. Knife to my conscience, love to my people, follow my call. This light is too lethal, put my pride in the ground. I just want something holy, only you and you only. So I keep dying to who I am and to who I used to be. R.I.P. to the old me. R.I.P. R.I.P.
One of my favorite parts of this mission trip was meeting Bill. He was one of the men from the work sites that we got to meet, and we got to serve him and work on his house. He had gone through 2 hurricanes in the past couple of years, and so we got to demo on his house, and we also just got to get to know him as a person, which was really fun.
My favorite part of this trip was seeing Bill, the guy we were working for, really open up to us as the week went on, or hitting a toilet with a sledgehammer.
My favorite part of this mission trip was getting to see everyone grow and just get deeper in their faith, and people just seem to come together and grow so much closer to God.
My favorite part of the trip was probably climbing trees to cut branches down.
My favorite part of the trip was sharing rooms with all the older fellows.
My favorite part of the mission trip was reaching out and connecting with people of the community.
Favorite part of the trip was making large impacts on other people's lives while also being in fellowship with other believers.
My favorite part was meeting people in the community, specifically Peter.
My favorite part of this mission trip was playing basketball at the local courts with the boys.
My favorite part of the trip was macheting down trees and throwing glass stuff in the dumpster and just having it explode everywhere.
My favorite part was worship on the beach.
My favorite part of the trip was working in the backyard of Bill's house with Garrett.
My favorite part about this trip was being able to see the progress on both our projects and the people that we interacted with.
My favorite part of the trip was taking down drywall with some of the fellas. It was just kind of fun to go ham on that.
My favorite part about the trip was meeting Peter and learning about his life.
My favorite part about the mission trip was worshiping together every night.
My favorite part of the trip was getting to hang out with the older guys and learn from their experiences.
My favorite part of the trip was just worshiping God and being in the sanctuary. I really felt His presence.
My favorite part of the trip was building relationships with the people that we served.
My favorite part of the trip was just being able to see the impact we had on the work sites, but also see the hearts of those we impacted change and just be more open to us.
My favorite part of the trip was meeting Peter, who we served on a mission site.
My favorite part of this mission trip was going on the big sandbar that we found.
My favorite part of the trip was worship.
My favorite part about this mission trip was meeting new people and growing closer to God.
My favorite part about the trip was having meaningful conversations with the guys at night.
My favorite part of the mission trip was playing spike ball and pickleball at the 180 house.
My favorite part was playing in worship each night.
My favorite part of the trip was learning more about the community and being able to bond with everyone that we served with.
My favorite part of the trip was spending time with my friends.
My favorite part of this mission trip was we got to work on a lady's house. She was named Shirley and she was super sweet. And I got to do some yard work for her and just talk to her.
The biggest takeaway that I had is just how vast God's creation is with seeing the ocean for the first time.
Something I learned was being bold in my faith and not missing any opportunity to share the gospel.
Something I learned over this trip is that don't judge someone before you know their story.
What I learned on this trip is how easy it is to be oblivious to problems in your own community and how we should always seek to help others.
One thing I learned is that when I get back from this trip, I'm going to take a step back and look what I put my identity in.
I learned from the people we were serving to be grateful in every circumstance, no matter what happened.
And something I learned was that even in like gorgeous places like Florida, like there's still, I don't know, like tragic incidents that can happen.
And I learned how to do electric work.
What I learned was that even in like the prettiest and most gorgeous places, there's always work to be done and Jesus to be spread everywhere. So, yeah.
And one thing I learned was how to have a positive attitude even in the most negative and terrible of situations.
And one thing I learned is that everyone has a story and you never know what that is unless you ask them about it.
And something I learned was that you can help a lot more than just the people who like have their houses torn down, and that there's a lot of people in the community to help.
And one thing I learned was to be grateful in all circumstances.
And something I learned from this trip was to not judge others because there's a lot more hidden inside of them.
One thing I learned on this trip was when spreading the word of God, don't give up even when people have a tough outer shelf.
And one thing I learned was that even when everything may look good in a neighborhood or an area, there's always stuff that can be done for people that are in worse circumstances than your own.
One thing I learned was that there's always something to have hope for. We were working with a man named Peter, and his house had been hit by hurricanes and demolished, and he still had hope for the future and what was to come, and that was really inspiring.
You never know what someone's going through, so always be kind no matter what.
And one thing I learned was even if someone's grumpy in the first place, they can come out of their box and sort of lighten up to everybody.
And I learned to be joyful in all circumstances because we have Christ. And one thing I learned is to be praising God in all circumstances.
And something I learned is that everyone has a unique story.
And one thing that I learned from this trip is to be more selfless and just kind of know that when you're going to these touristy places, they're not always what they seem. And a lot of times there's homelessness and other things going on in the area. So it's just important to be aware of that.
And one thing I learned was no job is too small.
And one thing I learned on this trip was that the work matters just as much as the conversations that we have with people, and they almost value that more than the work we do for them.
And one thing that I learned was how important it is to stay positive when negative things happen to you.
And I learned that even in the most prosperous parts of the world, there's still work that needs to be done.
And something that I learned is that you can find good in the day no matter what.
And one thing I learned is that serving others isn't just about giving, but it's also about connecting with them.
The one thing I learned on this trip was just how important listening well to people is, as that's what we did with Bill, and he really opened up to us throughout the week.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood. Living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does. Turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day, no it's great. Everything I prayed for didn't come in late. I got all I need and I didn't have to wait. Ask me if you love me, you didn't hesitate.
turning all things new. Gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me, birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day in every single way. God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day.